On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what a go on. A blessed and wonderful Friday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, you don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so they can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in a Jamaica. And as always, to the name Friday, the day when Mr. Smichael smile upon some of the ones and ones them pocket. So whilst traversing out there in the streets, you don't know, safe travel, pan the gravel. Always look out on the corner eye, cause the old dirty corner boy them always out there lurks. So in yesterday evening's vlog, I made mention that Digicel had withdrawn advertising from Zip 103 FM. Read that controversial interview with a criminal suspect named Ramon Silveira, the man that was seen on a viral video intimidating female passengers to get out of a taxi during the taxi strike. Now I have a video to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public, just to show you what has been going on in these streets just after taxi operators and bus operators went on strike after the non-compliance from the government to grant them an amnesty. Watch by your screen and see where really are going. Now my peeps, this video was sent in by a regular member of Chan Public who stated that these are some of the taxi and bus operators who were out there and asking the government for an amnesty. Now after all of what they did, look at some of the behaviors from some of these drivers. A few may comply, but for the most part, they did not. Look for yourself. Overtaking traffic, and this is a dual carriageway. Simply meaning we have one lane of traffic a go, one lane of traffic a come. So basically they are driving in the direction of oncoming traffic. How safe is that, my peeps? And then when we see all of these type of serious motor vehicle accidents, we wonder why. Now, among the companies which have pulled their advertising business from Zip 103 FM are Digicel, Flow, Pepsi, KFC and Red Stripe so far. Many others are planning on joining that campaign against Zip 103 FM, who had seemingly rewarded the clown Ramon Silveira for his rather most distasteful actions. So now my peeps, make we move on. So over there in the parish of St. Catherine, the St. Catherine North Police Division to be specific, a journalist was arrested and charged for illegal possession of firearm after a vehicle he was driving was searched by the police on the Spanish Town bypass in St. Catherine on Wednesday, November 16th. Charged is 24-year-old Nassim Campbell of a Job Lane address in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Reports from the Spanish Town police is that about 1:30 p.m. Campbell was seen driving a Toyota Wish motor vehicle when he was signaled to stop by the police. A search of the vehicle was conducted and a firearm with a magazine affixed was found in a black knapsack. Campbell was subsequently arrested and charged for the illegal possession of firearm offense. And over there in the St. Catherine North Police Division, crime statistics are presently on your screen. Now they stand at a whopping 130 loss of life courtesy of criminal elements plaguing that particular police division. Incidents of knockings and clappings is at 81. Knockings and clappings that caused injury is at 75. The hold on and tech type of business, 41. Robberies at 56, break-ins at 40, so a total number of serious crimes is 348. Now, my peeps, still in St. Catherine. So this particular incident, I covered this incident some time ago. Now this particular case is before the courts. So I'm here updating you, the regular members of Chan Public and members of the diaspora, about this particular matter. It is about the ordeals of 4 women, including a St. Catherine mother, whose 2 daughters were abducted, robbed, and a hold on and tech business gone on their way from church by convicted serial hold on and tech type of man, Everton Bennete, whilst the mother was held at bay and forced to watch her daughters being manhandled by this criminal element. Even a seasoned sexual offences investigator is struggling to overcome that type of trauma. Now, that one investigator stated, and I quote, "I am a trained Sissoko investigator, so we specialize in investigating sexual offenses. I can't tell you that I will ever be able to say it's the norm treating with these type of cases, because every case is different in its own way. But just the trauma, this one was particularly troubling for me because I dealt with this one by myself. These are terrible matters, really touching," the investigator stated. Now, Bennete, who was the main aggressor in the matter, on Tuesday pleaded guilty in the gun court to a 17-count indictment, charging him with multiple counts of hold on and tech, forcible abduction, robbery with aggravation, and illegal possession of firearm in relation to those 2 young women and another 2 females. He is to be sentenced in December 15th. Prosecutors are hoping that the convict who pleaded guilty under the plea agreement will be sentenced not less than 21 years at hard labor. In the allegations outlined by the prosecution, Bennete rented a 2012 grey Toyota Axio motor car registered 6105JE on February 3rd, 2021, initially for 3 days, then extended the arrangement on 4 other occasions up to February 15th of 2021. The attacks on the women were carried out over that time period. Although investigations were launched for each incident, during the court process, the Crown applied that all of them be joined as one case. In what was the second of 3 incidents, investigators say that the mother and her 2 daughters were walking home from church sometime after 9 p.m. in February of 2021 when they were held up by men traveling in a silver motor car. The women who were ordered into the car at gunpoint were robbed of their cellular phones and cash and then driven into bushes where the criminals took turns at hold on and tech business go on with the 2 young daughters, whilst ensuring that the mother, who was kept imprisoned in the car, watched as her daughters were assaulted by these criminal elements. The mother was, however, spared from that assault. Investigators also stated that the women were eventually released sometime after 11 p.m., close to where they had been initially abducted, and assisted to the police station by a passing motorist. Bennete, when arrested and cautioned in relation to this particular matter, reportedly stated to the investigating officer, "One more time, miss, may I beg you please, because me nah come out here so for now," supposedly referring to the mounting charges he was facing. Bennete was also convicted of another incident the day before involving a security guard who had been seen on her way to work and had that same encounter. The woman was ordered into the motor vehicle by 2 of 3 men, one of whom was armed, and she was robbed, and then a series of hold on and tech business go on by Bennete, who inquired if she was a virgin and whether or not she had heard of a recent loss of life that took place in her area. In another attack, 2 days later, a student who was on her way to school was kidnapped and robbed of her cell phone and cash by men traveling in the same motor vehicle. After driving to a lonely road in the area, Bennete, despite being told by one of his criminal counterparts that the young lady was on her menses, still proceed in the hold on and take business of that lady. And as God would have it, my peeps, forensic evidence in addition to the testimonies of the women helped to snag Bennete, who in August of 2020 had reported his motor vehicle stolen and voluntarily gave DNA to the police. After the forensic lab completed its analysis of samples related to the 4 women, Bennete was then confirmed to be the source of the male DNA found in the semen obtained from the safe kit concerning the complaints. So my peeps, see how God work? Boy, I tell you, he voluntarily gave DNA samples in August of 2020. Literally almost a year before he committed the act. And of course, the quick response and proper investigative skills of the police led them to the capture of this serial hold on and take dirty corner boy off our streets. So we now await his sentencing, and I hope that the court gives him the full length of the law. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.